Can Nintendo make an impact on E3 without a big press conference? Is this the year that the Wii U finally comes good? And what is Shigeru Miyamoto's secret project? We ask all these questions and more as we predict how E3 2014 will turn out for Nintendo. Hello everyone, this is Matt from CVG and I'm here with GamesMaster's Matt Gilman and we're going to talk about Nintendo predictions. Are you alright, Matt?
Hey, yeah, not too bad, thanks.
So the first one we've got on our list is one that's been hanging around for a while, is Majora's Mask for 3DS. So the idea behind this is that in A Link Between Worlds, the mask is in the game, and there's a few other things as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been spoken about for quite a while, hasn't it? Everyone's been kind of waiting for it to happen off the back of Ocarina as well. And it makes sense. I think possibly it would be in the shadow of another Zelda announcement that we'll move on to, but certainly it wouldn't be too surprising to see Majora's Mask return.
Are you potentially excited by that? Is it something that
certainly,
your juice is flowing?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I was so blown away by Ocarina that Majora's Mask always took a kind of back seat in my nostalgia glands. But no, certainly it would be incredibly exciting.
And speaking of Ocarina, just sort of from a brief look at this, Grezzo, who did Ocarina,
yes,
and also the Street Pass gardening game that you may be less familiar with, they've been quite quiet, so there's a chance that they could be working on this, and that kind of is quite a nice fit, because Ocarina was basically amazing.
Certainly, yeah. I think that, it can't have taken all this time just to make that Street Pass gardening game. You know, I have to assume that he's been working on Majora's in the meantime as well.
We'll move on to number 2, which is also quite likely. I think this is a definite, and that's that we will see something of the Wii U Zelda.
Yes. There's been little tidbits of information dropped in various different interviews all over the place. But I think most potently is this was directly from Onama, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was saying basically, I will tell you more at E3. So yeah, I mean it's a dead set, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not really like we're gazing into the crystal ball. No. He's told us he will be showing the game. I think what's more interesting is perhaps what it will be, because it's a bit of a curveball.
Well, there was a Nintendo Direct back in, was it March, February?
I'm going to say yes.
2013. Yes, it was back then. Where Onama was saying that they want to rethink the conventions of what we believe Zelda to be, or what that kind of entails. I mean, there were some choice quotes that I've prepared here.
Excellent.
Where he was talking about they want to challenge our perceptions that we're supposed to play by yourself. So the idea being that there would be some kind of multiplayer component in that. Whether or not that will be something more akin to what they did with Wind Waker, like the messaging system or something along those lines, which is quite exciting. You imagine going through in a Zelda dungeon and seeing like Dark Souls style messages plastered around.
I love the idea of that, yeah.
No more getting stuck in the water temples. And then there's this idea that they want to challenge the expectation that we play through dungeons in certain orders as well. So this kind of fuels this dream Zelda game where you go out into the world and you go anywhere in any order. There's no kind of dungeon 1, dungeon 2. You just go anywhere and do whatever you want.
The third one again is one that we have strong evidence to back up, and that's the Super Smash Bros. Will be the first game to use the Nintendo figurine platform. So if you don't already know, Nintendo figurine platform is basically sort of Nintendo's version of Skylanders or Disney Infinity. So obviously they're a company with lots of very recognisable characters and potentially saleable toys. And Smash Brothers is the sort of, it's the ideal franchise for it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the first time we kind of heard about it was Rayman. It was some leaked Rayman video where we were all excited, and then suddenly it's just been so quiet for so long. We're like, what's going on? It's just surely off the back of the success of like you say Skylanders and things like that. And Nintendo were quick to jump on them with their franchises, especially Smash Bros. And even Pokemon. The exciting thing about what we've heard about this E3, the information we're going to hear about this at E3, is that the implication is that you will buy these toys, or you will receive these toys, and then you will keep hold of them, not just for one particular game. So I'm assuming that you will get a Charizard figure, and then a year or two down the line, when they bring out a Pokemon Wii U game, you can use the same figure for that game as well. So the implication is that these toys will have a shelf life. You can continue using them over various titles, which is quite exciting.
It is exciting, especially with something like Pokemon, and with the potential with crossover titles like Smash Brothers. I've already got Snake.
And there's the other thing that was spoken about, which was there would be a separate pad type dealio which links to your 3DS via infrared, so that you have this one toy that you use on your Wii U NFC thingy, and then you can also use that for your 3DS games as well. Pokemon.
Yeah, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? So this is pretty much a definite. Like Stephen Boll from Nintendo France accidentally let this slip in an interview, so we think it's a definite. But again, the sort of specifics about what it will entail and how it will work aren't clear yet, but potentially exciting. So I think it's a big tick. Moving on to number 4, Nintendo, we know, are hosting a roundtable event for an as yet unnamed 3DS game even. So, any ideas?
Well, I think it might be a new 3D Mario. I think that the reason I think that is because Koizumi-san, who is essentially they've put 3D the Wii U 3D Mario out. So what are they going to be working on next? Apparently, they're already working on what they call their next challenge, which would make sense if it was another 3D Mario game, in my opinion. There have been whispers about a possible Metroid reveal. It would be fantastic. I don't think there's necessarily too much evidence. I mean, you were mentioning that possibly because
the only thing I could think of was the time. Like the last sort of DS big Metroid reveal was 10 years ago, and it was Reggie's big sort of, and you'll be playing it tomorrow. And then everyone complained about the controls.
I guess the only reason I'm so sceptical is because the last time I got excited about a Metroid game, it ended up being Cranky Kong. And it's like, so I don't want to get my hopes up.
No.
But you're right, it's perfectly viable, I guess.
Yeah, and we haven't had a Mario for a while, and Nintendo love making money. So,
yeah,
I mean,
there's that as well. Yeah,
that's they're both sort of viable. But I tend to think that as much as the 10-year gap would be nice if it echoed that previous Metro reveal, I think it'll be a Mario.
It could be something completely new as well.
Yeah, always discount that. Yeah. And, absolutely could be. And that leads us neatly to point number 5. Which is Miyamoto's new game.
Yes. So I actually had a chat with Miyamoto-san about 2 years ago. So if there's off the back of Pikmin 3 and the Wii U launch, essentially. And we were chatting about what he was going to be up to once Pikmin 3 was out the door. And he essentially said that he wants to be able to concentrate on something totally new. And this was 2 years ago. He wants to leave the established franchises in the hands of the up-and-coming younger devs at Nintendo, so that he can then concentrate on something entirely new, which is very exciting indeed. He even said quite recently, I think, in an interview, that, I'm working on something. Yeah. I can't talk about it yet.
I believe there was an interview in Famitsu in 2013 where he said, so I can't give you the details, but something's been keeping him busy.
Yes.
So, I mean, the signs point to some kind of reveal of this year. Do we think, is that optimistic or not?
Given that he was talking about it with me 2 years ago, 2 years is a good time to be working on something to be ready to announce it. And certainly, I think that there are plenty of little. I mean, we've seen lots of kind of schedules for reveals and things over the next week, and we see lots of brackets, unannounced title, closed brackets. Like, ooh, what could that be? Yeah. And I mean, it could be some obscure kind of 3DS game which is never going to be spoken about beyond the reveal event, but it could be something totally new, totally fresh, and which is something that I think a lot of even the hardcore kind of Nintendo fans as well are excited.
I think it's time, isn't
something
it?
New and totally fresh. Yeah.
Right, that's awesome. I think those are 5 fairly solid predictions. We'll quickly run through these and also rounds as well, which we think are fairly definite, but they're just potentially interesting. And Yarn Yoshi for Wii U. We think we'll probably see this.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too massively excited about it, but yeah.
No, we'll park that one there. So, yeah, Bayonetta 2, more excited about that?
Yes, certainly. I mean, we got to play it last year, and it was mind-blowingly good. So, yes, hopefully we get to see more.
Excellent. Of that. Do you think that one will stay a Nintendo exclusive forever?
Ooh. I don't know. Platinum seem to have a really good rapport with Nintendo, so it wouldn't surprise me too much if they just said, "Yeah, no, it's a Wii U exclusive forever." But as much as it would be nice to be able to talk about it amongst all gamers rather than having
we're all about brand agnosticism here.
Share.
I think with that in mind as well, I think we're probably likely to see some kind of Japanese third-party exclusives, less Western third-party exclusives, but we could see something obscure and Japanese and potentially quite exciting.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking quite a lot about their kind of indie reach-out. So, yeah.
X from Monolith Soft, I think we'll probably see more of.
Yeah, hopefully with a new name that when we type it into Google to try and find it, it won't just come up with random things beginning with X.
Yeah, it's quite hard to track down that one. No. Of course, there was a rumour a couple of weeks ago about new hardware, which I'm sure has to be nonsense. Really,
it would not surprise me to learn that they are, going through the motions in Ninty HQ. Yeah. But almost certainly we won't hear anything about it at E3. No. I think it's much, much too soon, and it would undermine the fantastic couple of weeks that the Wii U has had, and is going to have off the back of a potentially large announcement that we've just speculated.
Yeah, absolutely, and potentially a price cut as well.
Yes, yeah. You mentioned when we were talking about it before about the possible expansion to the Virtual Console, and we'll hear about nice things happening with the Wii U and with the 3DS. I don't think we'll hear anything about new hardware.
No, I think that's fair enough. Matt, thank you very much. That's awesome, and it's exciting. Can't wait to see if any of the predictions are right next week. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, please click like now and subscribe to CVG for more stuff like this. And we're going to have daily E3 coverage next week. We're live at the show, and we're bringing you all the latest news, analysis, opinion, and videos as and when we get it. And don't forget, you can check out our Nintendo Top 5 E3 moments by clicking the on-screen link now. Thanks for watching.